heading into a big game against Northern Iowa?
Yeah, probably, the thing we need to stress is discipline. Like, we had too many penalties in that game, and we got to do the little things right, on and off the field, because when you go into the environment which we're going into, a very good opponent, that YSU hasn't been successful there since 1999, with half of our team probably not even born at that time. That it is those little things that we got to focus on, and we got to clean up. We scored 35 points and a half. That looks great, but then when you go back on film, sometimes, maybe we didn't block everyone we needed to block, but we have some guys that can make plays that make those things look better. We call him the eraser for a reason. He can erase mistakes, but we got to fix those mistakes, because, again, we're going into a hostile environment on Saturday, and you can't look back. You got to prepare for this week, and I thought our young men did that. Had a great practice yesterday, get that off your back, and then went out today and backed it up with 2 solid practices.
Doug, is there a common denominator in your 2 games against FCS opponents where you guys have given up, more than 40 or more than 35 points in each of those 2 games?
I'd say, a lot of it has to do with the quarterbacks we went against. Those were, I'd say, one of the 2 best quarterbacks. One of the best quarterbacks throwing-wise in our league was Western Illinois, and he's proven that over time, and the incarnate word. So a lot of it, you got to give credit to them. Do we need to get better in playing defense and on our special teams and offensively and pass protection? There's a lot we got to get better at. And each and every day, part of that is going out there and competing every day, even in practice. So, to pinpoint one, no, we got a lot of work to do. And each and every day we're going out and working on those things that will give us a chance to win football games on Saturdays.
When you watch film on UNI and you're playing kind of in a unique environment with the dome and the AstroTurf, what do you kind of tell the guys to expect on Saturday?
Chaos. You got to expect chaos. And you need to adapt to it, and then you need to be able to execute in it. In the same thing, expect, life is hard. Football games are hard. You got to expect that each and every week, and never take anything for granted. Never feel comfortable. So, we got to do a great job in our preparation this week to have an understanding that it's going to be very chaotic. There's going to be people. They're going to probably have a packed house of 16,000 people. It's going to be loud. The sidelines are closed. It's AstroTurf. We're wearing different type shoes. And we can't focus on any of that, but just to expect it and to be able to overcome that.
One of the top defenses in the FCS, just what makes them so tough to move the ball against?
They're big and strong. If you look at them, they got big defensive linemen. And when we talk, usually defensive ends, in the FCS are usually 240, 250 pounds. Now you're going against 265-pound defensive ends with anchor tackles that are 300 pounds and probably wrestlers that play with great leverage, and they have great length at linebacker, that goes 6'2", 6'3". And then you look at their secondary, and they always have great corners. Both of them are 6'1", over 200 pounds. They have 2 safeties. Both of them are over 6'1", 200 pounds. So they've done a great job. I mean, he's been there. He has the most wins in league history. They have a recruiting plan that they've executed for the last 20 years, bringing in players they believe will be successful to keep winning games there. And, if there's a blueprint of how you recruit, how you develop, and how you retain, they definitely demonstrate that year in and year out.
They have a different quarterback than from the spring, right?
They do. They, number 2 was the guy in McIlvain. And, the second half of the Sac State, they went with the transfer from Michigan State, the Day boy, Theo Day. And, 2 different type of quarterbacks. One can move and run around and get out of the pocket and make plays downfield and, can run the football. The other is more of a pocket passer. He can run, but it's a throw-first type of quarterback, similar to what we probably just went against this week with Western Illinois. Western Illinois, he could run, but he wants to throw first. So I think they saw themselves down 9-7 at half, and went with a change, and when they went with the change, the young man Day hit some passes downfield and really got the offense going for him. I know they're stressing and emphasizing their run game, and they got big offensive linemen. I mean, the Penning, 6'7", 320, and his younger brother, who's a redshirt freshman, 6'6", 338, that plays right next to him. So they got big physical offensive linemen that can move defensive lines and pass pro for their quarterback. So it's a great challenge, but coming off what we just came off, kind of you can't look back, and we got to get ready to go play against a very good football team. So for us, we got to look forward to a great challenge.
Doug, did you think about taking Demetric out Saturday at all with the offense sputtering a little bit?
No, because I think it wasn't one guy, it was 11 players. Whether it was breakdown in pass protection, breakdown in, run blocking, breakdown, there's a lot of breakdowns, and it's never just one football player. In the first half, guess what? He had 70-some yards rushing and was able to throw and score touchdowns. So at that point, no. But we do to our kids every day, you got to come in and compete and practice. If there's anything that we look at is, going on the practice field and making sure every day you come with the sense of urgency that you got to compete for that job. And, we got 3 good quarterbacks that I'd not hesitate to put any of them in there. But in that game, it wasn't one person. It was an accumulation of 11 people not doing the same thing each play. And if you have one breakdown, that's why it's the greatest team sport. If there's one breakdown, one person not doing what they're supposed to do, it's not going to be a successful play.